What we're going to do today is we're going to head over to a town that's about 40 minutes away from me to pick up a car for a buddy to put a rear axle in so he can run his car this weekend. Late notice, I know, but a lot of us here are procrastinators, and you guys will probably know what I'm talking about. But if you can tell by my fancy getup, I just worked a full day at work, gonna drive 45 minutes out of my way to go get this car, to drive another 45 minutes home, and then once it's home, we're gonna change out the axle. So it is a 1993, 94, 95 Crown Vic. It's a disc brake, 8.8 in the back, but it's the older style with the triangulated 4-link in the back instead of the parallel 4-link. So let's go get this car and then we'll get it loaded. So what we have here is like a 93 Crown Vic, and as you can tell, this axle is broken. Now, we've already done a little bit of work to this. We were given a a drum brake axle for this. We did not know if it would work, but this is a disc brake axle. The drum brake is about a 3/8 of an inch too short. So we just put it in there to be able to move it, to get it out of where it was parked way over there. We drove it just like how it is. Now the rear end is locked, so we are able to drive it like this, but it is just mostly a temporary fix as it sits. So this was here is just to get it out. But what we're going to do is we're going to put a new axle into this. I'll show you how to do all of it. The only thing that we're not going to do is rehook up the brakes, because there's no sense to do that because all the brackets are broke off the axle. So there's no sense to hook brakes back up to this corner. We'll just pinch it with a pair of vice grips and that's it. But let's get it up onto the trailer and loaded to go home to get work done. So the job's already half done for us. What I mean by that is this axle's already removed. And I removed it there in the fall for him, and I put this one in. He was given this axle for free. Unfortunately, it's out of a drum brake rear end and it's not the same. So when doing this, we're not going to replace the caliper. We're actually just going to cut the lines because he's got the rear brakes already disconnected. And the reason for that is because when these axles usually break, how they break is they twist off the caliper mount. So even if we wanted to put it back on, we couldn't. We do have it up on jack stands and blocks of wood on the front of it, so I feel safe going underneath it. But like I said, a couple steps are already done for us. The diff cover is already removed. Basically one axle is already out, but we still have to put the other axle in. So we still have to remove the center section to push the new axle in to get the C-clip. So let's get started, I guess. So the first thing that you're going to want to remove is this little bolt right here. Now this is just an 8mm. You can either use a wrench or a ratchet, but I have to warn you, if you get the ratchet in there, you might not get it out at some point. So just remove this bolt, just like so. Now you're going to want to put that off to the side because you have to slide this pin. But we want to get this axle in a position where we can slide this pin in a downward motion where we can access in between the gears. So we're just going to go put this car into neutral and spin this tire. So now with the car in neutral, we're just going to grab the one tire that's on there and spin this till we can get it to a position where we want it. Like so. Just like that. Now these should come out pretty easily if you haven't welded them in. Alright, it wants to come out the other way, so we're just going to rotate her all the way around. Sometimes it's best not to fight it and just let it do what it wants to do, because it's just better not to fight them. Just give it a little bit of wiggle and she'll work her way out. Let's go get a pair of pliers and we can pull this pin. We don't want to take it all the way out. We just want to take it out so it clears the axles enough. So let's just hook the vice grips up to it. Now it shouldn't take a whole lot of clamping because you don't want to put vice grip marks on the shaft of this. See how I have my finger on the inside just kind of guiding her out? We don't want to come all the way out. So right there is about as far as we want to take that. Now, this is where you push in the axle to remove the C-grip, but the C-clip. But that's already done for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to push in the new axle and reinstall the C-clip. I'll show you close up when I go to do that. So this is the axle here, and as you see that there's a big notch at the end of it, that's where the C-clip goes. So you can just imagine that being slid onto there like that. We just have to slide that inside the axle housing, and then if we're removing it, you just use a flathead screwdriver and push this out, or use your hands and push it in. So this installs super easily. You just take it, slide it in. Oh, come on. I would not recommend this for a street car. So this is a derby car. There you go. She's all the way in now. So let's get you zoomed in onto the center section. This might be a little bit hard for me to do and film, but as you can see, the axle's sticking past. So we're just going to take this C-clip, see if I can. There you go, just like that. That's basically installed now. Now all you have to do is pull this axle back far enough for this pin to go in. You see how that pin does not clear now? It's hitting the axle. So all we have to do is push that axle back and then reinstall that pin. Now you see how the axle's been pulled back? We can reinstall this pin just right up into there like that. This might need a little tap with the hammer. Now with that pin removed, we can just rotate this towards us and reinstall that little 8mm bolt that we removed. Just right into that hole right there. So just take it and slide it into the hole, and then just basically give her some love taps to get her in there. Once that bolt was installed, we put the diff cover back on. Last thing to do is to cut the brake line. Now he says he already has the back brakes cut at the front, so we don't have to worry about that. And then just bolt the tire on. We're not putting anything back on there because it's only a derby car. It's only a derby car. So now with the tire put back on, we're pretty much done, and we can re-deliver this car back to the gentleman we picked it up from. I'll do that tomorrow night after work. But basically, this is not a big job. To replace an axle inside one of these is honestly maybe 30 to 40 minutes, especially when you have all the tools readily available. I didn't even have this thing up on the hoist. It's a very easy job to do. I've done this at a derby before to go from match to match. So a lot of people around here and a lot of the YouTube guys that watch my videos are pretty new to the demolition derby world, and that's not a bad thing. But just don't get rid of a car if it's a quick fix. You know what, usually a broken rear axle is real easy to fix. Most of the times even a broken front axle is really easy to fix yourself. This thing here was quite an easy fix, and it'll get another derby out of this car. Believe it or not, this will be this car's third derby. This car's had really bad luck. It had a starter go out at one derby before he even got in the ring, and the second one he took one axle shot and the axle snapped clean off. So this one will have a third run, and hopefully its last run coming up here this Friday night in Schaumburg. But take care, guys. Thanks for watching Zach's Workshop, and we easily fixed this axle in this back of this Grand Marquis. Take care and see you guys tomorrow.